Hello, I'm Kanto and welcome to my playthrough of Generation 1's Blue version. This is the first episode of the series and I'll be going over 3 different glitches that I execute during this episode. The item Underflow glitch to get rare candies and Master Balls before picking my starter, how to get a level 100 Pokemon in Viridian Forest, and how to get Zapdos before battling Brock. Now my goal for this playthrough is to exploit some glitches to collect all 151 Pokemon, plus the Gen 2 missing no Pokemon. Then use the 8F glitch to make them all shiny, and after all that is said and done, I'll transfer them over to Pokemon Home and head on over to Johto. I would love it if you joined me on this journey. Just hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you can see when new videos are posted to the channel. I'll be posting tutorials and playthrough videos weekly on YouTube, and I also live stream the gameplay on Twitch. I'm looking forward to meeting other Pokemon fans through this journey. Now let's get episode 1 underway. We are starting strong with the item Underflow glitch. This is so I can have rare candies and Master Balls before picking my starter. Now let's go ahead and get started on this glitch. The first thing you're going to want to do is erase all data. You can do this by holding up, select, and B at the same time, and then hit yes to deleting data. Now you're going to want to turn text speed to fast, that way you can get through Professor Oak's little intro a bit quicker. And now you can just carry on with the rest of the intro like normal. Now once Professor Oak is done talking your ear off and learning what his grandson's name is, you're going to want to open up the menu, hit save, and hit yes. You want to reset the game after the yes/no box disappears and before the text in the bottom box changes. The timing can be really tricky on this, so it might take a few tries. If you get it too early, it'll say the file has been corrupted. No worries though, just try again. Once you get your timing right, you should be able to access the Pokemon bag even though you don't have any Pokemon yet. You want to select the first invisible Pokemon in your bag and switch it with the 10th Pokemon that is just off screen. Then you want to close the bag and head downstairs. Once downstairs, stop in the doorway, open your items bag, and you want to toss 250 of the 36th item. To help you find it in case you lose count, it's 2 item slots below HM04. You're going to see a lot of weird icons, but just ignore them. Keep scrolling until you get to the item you need. Sometimes your cursor may get stuck. You'll notice that because it's not flashing anymore. Just hit B and keep scrolling down. Now that you found HM04, it's 2 slots under that, and that's your Master Balls. Now you want to toss 250 of them. So if you just hit down a few times, it's going to be this weird triangle with a 0 next to it. Go ahead and close out the menu and exit the house. You'll be surprised, but this is going to teleport you to Celadon City. You can open your item bag again and hop on your bike. Now you want to ride to the right just before you exit the city and the ground texture changes to grass. Open your item bag and you want to switch the 35th item, which should be a nugget, with the dome fossil that is further down. You're going to have to use the select button to move around items in your bag. Just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. It should be under the soul badge and this PC icon. Once those are switched, take 1 step to the left and open your item bag again. Now go back up to the rare candy that is under HM04 and switch that with the first item under cancel that's further up. Now that you've found the rare candy under HM04, select it and scroll up to find cancel. Once you're all the way at the top, scroll back down just a little bit to get to the first item that looks like a square and a J. Once those are switched, close the menu. Take a step back to the right and switch the item under Rare Candy with the 35th item under HM04, which should be a Master Ball. Exit Item menu and open Pokémon menu. Now scroll back to the third invisible Pokémon and swap that with the 36th invisible Pokémon. Make sure you count correctly or the glitch won't work properly. You're going to see some weird numbers and icons all over the screen. Just ignore them and keep counting. Once those are swapped, close out of the menu and you will be teleported to the Safari Zone. Now that you're at the Safari Zone, go ahead and enter. Once inside, open your Pokemon bag and switch the 36th Pokemon back with the third Pokemon. Once you've done that, go ahead and have some fun trying to catch a Pokemon. If you run out of Safari Balls, you can exit and re-enter. Just make sure before you exit to open your menu, or else the game will freeze and you have to restart all over. Once you've caught a Pokemon, it'll say you caught a Golem. Just roll with it. Go to exit, but remember to open the menu before exiting. Once in the building, open the item bag and toss 5 of the 35th item, which looks like a square and a J. It should be located 2 slots under the HM03 and above the soul badge. Now go ahead and exit. Now you've been teleported to Viridian City. Go ahead and make your way down to the Pokemon Center. Go to the PC, deposit 255 rare candy, $255 Master Balls, and 1 Ultra Ball. Then go ahead and withdraw 1 Master Ball, one Ultra Ball, and 255 rare candy. Then whatever else is in the PC. Open the item bag and swap rare candy with potion. Now go ahead and make your way to the Pokemart. Grab Oak's parcel, then exit. Now you want to toss the first 2 items in the bag, which should be an Ultra Ball and a potion. Then toss 250 of the next item twice. Make sure you do it twice. And then you want to do 253 of it again. Then switch the first item with the second item twice. Now head back to the Pokemon Center. And use a rare candy on your first invisible Pokemon. Go ahead and deposit all invisible Pokemon until you get the last Pokemon message. You will probably have to switch boxes a few times. Once you only have 1 invisible Pokemon with you, go ahead and catch a real Pokemon. Now open the Pokemon bag and switch your second Pokemon with your first Pokemon. Then go back to the Pokemon Center and deposit your last invisible Pokemon. You're all set. Now go back to Pallet Town and let Professor Oak bring you to the lab to pick a starter. Once you're done with all this dialogue, go ahead and pick the correct starter, which we all know is Charmander. Well, congratulations. If you made it this far, that means you've mastered the item underflow glitch. You should have rare candies and master balls to spare now. So when doing the glitch I'm about to do next, to get a wild level 100 Pokemon before battling Brock, it deleted all my master balls and rare candies. I really want those with me on this playthrough, so I started over, doing the entire item underflow glitch again. Then I wanted all 3 starter Pokemon with me, so naturally, I attempted another glitch. One I saw from Kevy Kango Gaming on YouTube. Huge shout out to him. But I could not get the timing right to save my life, so I opted to just starting new files on my other DS's and trading those starters over. Now that leads us to here, leaving Oak's lab with Pokédex in hand and ready to explore Kanto. First thing I'm going to do before heading to Viridian Forest and attempting this next glitch, which I'm not even sure what it's called, I just call it Viridian Forest glitch or level 100 before Brock glitch. I'm going to head straight to the Pokemon Center and deposit my rare candies and Master Balls. Because as you know, last time they were in my bag and something about this glitch got rid of them. So I deposit my Master Balls and rare candies into the PC. I'm not sure if them being in the PC will help anything or if the glitch will still mess them up, but there's one way to find out. Also, I deposited 2 of my Pokemon, because to get this glitch going once you're in Viridian Forest, you want your only Pokemon to get poisoned and faint. And there's a lot of Metapods and Kakunas, so in case they keep using Harden, your Pokemon will eventually end up fainting from being poisoned. So now we want to make our way towards the end of Viridian Forest, but not past the last trainer. Once you get there, you want to encounter a Weedle and let it poison sting you and hopefully poison you. Then walk around for a few steps so your HP gets lowered. And a few steps before the trainer, go ahead and save your game. Now you want to encounter a Pokemon right as you walk in front of the trainer. The timing can be pretty tricky on this, so make sure you saved your game before so you can just keep resetting to get that encounter right. And this is why we wanted our Pokemon to be poisoned. Because if you run into a Metapod or a Kakuna, they are going to use Harden or String Shot. Nothing that actually deals damage. So now we're just waiting for our Pokemon to faint because of the poison damage and be teleported back to the Pokemon Center. Now as you're being teleported back to the Pokemon Center, you are going to see the trainer's exclamation mark pop up. Now that you're back in Viridian City, you want to find a Pokemon that you can land 6 Growls on and then run from them. You can go towards Route 22 to encounter Nidorans, or even battle your enemy. Or you can head back towards Viridian Forest like me, and encounter something before entering the building. As long as you land 6 growls on them, that's all that matters. Now depending on which Pokemon you use 6 growls on, that will dictate which Pokemon you're going to encounter. Once you have successfully landed 6 growls, go ahead and head back into Viridian Forest. And voila, you should be met with a level 1 Pokemon. Now go ahead and catch this Pokemon. In typical Kanto fashion, I use my Master Ball. Now go ahead and move the Pokemon you just caught to the front of your party. Now encounter a wild Pokemon, defeat it, and you should have enough XP after that your Pokemon will level up. And just like that, you have a level 100 Pokemon before even battling Brock. Now you can repeat this process over and over to get a full team of level 100 Pokemon before even leaving Viridian Forest. Be careful though, because once you battle the trainer, you can no longer perform this glitch. For this playthrough, I opted just to get the one Nidoking, but there are many other Pokemon I could have gone back and captured. I go ahead and battle this bug catcher. Something tells me he's not going to be much of a challenge. Now that I've defeated the trainer, I'm going to make my way to Pewter City. Once I get to Pewter City, the next glitch I'm going to do is commonly called Brock Through Walls. Basically, there's an NPC who will not let you pass him unless you have the Boulder Badge. You can glitch it to where you can pass him, and not only can you pass him, you can practically walk across the entire Kanto region. But you've got to be very careful, because if you get stuck somewhere, then my friend, you are screwed. That's why I made it my priority to get an Aber from the game corner and sell it on City first. Here's what you're going to need to pull off Brock Through Walls. You need a level 8 Pokemon that can only have 3 moves. The second move must have 16 PP left, and the third move must have 36 PP left. And this Pokemon needs to be in the last spot of your party. Bulbasaur is the most commonly used Pokemon for this glitch. Now go ahead and take your Bulbasaur and keep battling wild Pokemon. You want to make sure you're using its moves until the second move has 16 PP left and the third move has 36 PP left. Just make sure your Bulbasaur does not level up past 8. Now when you finally get the PP right for your moves, go ahead and swap Bulbasaur to the last spot in your party. Walk towards the NPC at the entrance of Route 3 and save the game before you pass him. Now since you haven't defeated Brock and received the Boulder Badge, he will not let you pass. After the follow me message pops up, hit B, then start right after. If you timed it right, the menu should open up and you can save the game. Once you save the game, go ahead and reset. Now hold down right while going through the dialogue that pops up right after you resume the game. As the guy starts walking towards you, you should start walking towards the right. Now walk back to the same NPC guy from the right and talk to him. Once he goes through his dialogue again, you're free to walk around. Now if you quit moving, the menu will pop open. Just hit B and keep walking. Now I'm going to head to Celadon City to go to the game corner and get an Abra. You have to be very careful when walking because you don't want to veer too far off the path or the game will freeze up. I want to snag an Abra because it knows teleport, and as long as I don't heal at any other Pokemon centers, I will always teleport back to Pewter City. I had to Google a map of the Kanto region so I wouldn't go too far out of bounds and freeze the game. Now that I've made it to Celadon City, I need to go grab the coin case from this gentleman right here in the top corner. Once you get the coin case, head into the game corner and talk to everyone playing games. They usually will give you coins. And once you've talked to everyone in there, click all over on the floor because there are a bunch of coins scattered all over. Once you have enough coins, go next door and buy an Abra. Now exit and teleport back to Pewter City. Start the Brock through walls glitch again with the NPC. Now this is where it gets fun. I'm going to walk all the way down to the power plant to catch Zapdos. Once again, just be careful not to walk too far out of bounds or the game will freeze. Now that I'm at the power plant, I just have to make my way to the end to find Zapdos. And there it is. And luckily, since I've done my item underflow glitch earlier, I have some spare Master Balls to use, or this would have been a nightmare trying to catch with Pokeballs. And there you have it, our first legendary, and we haven't even fought Brock yet. Now that we've caught our first legendary, let's hop on out of the power plant and use teleport to get back to Pewter City and take on Brock. Once we teleport back, our good Brock through walls friend is finally going to take us to Brock's gym. Not to sound too cocky, but I'm pretty sure we've got the right stuff to take Brock. We go ahead and challenge Brock's first trainer. He is quickly going to realize this is a mistake. I'm pretty sure my Nidoking could fart and KO his Pokemon. With both his Pokemon fainted, it's time to take on the boss, Brock. But first, let me go ahead and put Zapdos in the front spot so he can really shine. Of course I forgot Thundershock does nothing in this gym. After a clean sweep, I've earned the Boulder Badge and was gifted TM34 Bide, because Brock was so impressed with how strong my Pokemon are. Thank you for tuning into my playthrough of Gen 1's Red and Blue version. These are games I've played my entire life, but I never really dove deep into the glitches. Of course, when I was a kid, everyone knew about missing no duplication glitch and the infamous Mew under the truck story. But now being older and having access to something called the World Wide Web, I've really learned a lot of exciting things about these games, and I can't wait to share them with you all. So make sure you like and subscribe for more tutorials and playthroughs weekly. I also live stream everything on Twitch. Let me know in the comments if you have attempted any of these glitches and which ones I should attempt next. See you next time.